to Aotearoa's child poverty response. We, as young people, are the only ones who know what it is like to be young today. To reach our goal of ending child poverty, we must take immediate action. With this first of its kind youth declaration, we, the Tai Tamariki of South Auckland, present our common vision for ending child poverty. It is the outcome of wānanga with nearly 50 youth from Manaaki Rangatahi, Ngā Whare Wātea and Mā Te Huruhuru collectives who contributed through kanohi ki te kanohi sessions, workshops and grassroots level dialogues. To achieve these ends, we assert the need of an intersectional, intersectoral and cross-cutting approach based on the principles of human rights, sustainable development, gender equality, inclusion, equity, equality and solidarity across all actions to end child poverty and its systems at the national, regional, local and grassroots level. Therefore, we call upon the Children's Commissioner, particularly as well as the Minister for Child Poverty, Central Government, Local Government, Oranga Tamariki, Ministry of Development, Ministry of Social Development, national organisations and other key decision makers in child poverty systems to commit to and ensure implementation of the following demands. Number one, we demand decision makers engage with youth in a meaningful, effective, diverse and safe manner in the design, implementation, execution, monitoring and evaluation of the process to end child poverty. Number two, we urge decision makers to invest in the digital infrastructure of affordable, dignified, safe and stable access to digital connectivity for all, including but not limited to devices and suitable learning environments for those whose homes do not provide such a space, to aid connection and close the digital divide. Number three, we demand decision makers to implement a multi-faced solution that has a specific focus on support around access to education, an example, free public transport, youth mentoring, and community work with a focus on accessibility and finding families who need and want support and increased funding for clothing, food, and resources. Number four, we especially urge decision makers to support spaces in which cultural and spiritual well-being is prioritised for youth, for example, places such as Mā Te Huruhuru Karere Te Manu in Auckland. Number five, we need decision makers to do more to enforce the rights of Māori people. In the spirit of Te Tiriti, we demand youth have the right to their histories, languages, oral traditions, philosophies, writing systems and literatures, and to designate and retain their own names for communities and places and persons. Number six, we especially demand that every child has the right to shelter. A lack of quality housing puts the health and well-being of youth at risk. We believe that quality housing is a human right and should be included in the Bill of Rights Act 1990. We call for decision makers to support spaces where ending youth homelessness is prioritised. For example, places such as Manaaki Rangatahi in Auckland. Number seven, we call for the rights of everyone to have access to safe and nutritious food consistent with the right to adequate food and the fundamental right of everyone to be free from hunger. We call for decision makers to support spaces where food security is prioritised for youth, for example, places such as the Whenua Warrior in Auckland. Number eight, we urge decision makers to intervene through educational programs on how to recognise symptoms and support those with mental health issues. These programs should be implemented through education seminars in schools and local communities. Number nine, we believe that the government should seek to mitigate drug-related issues by decriminalising marijuana instead of legalising it and making drug and alcohol education compulsory for students years 6 to 13. Last but not least, we especially believe financial education should be classified as a human right because households who take greater control over their finances are more likely to enjoy financial success even during difficult times. Financial education is a survival skill. You simply cannot thrive in today's modern economy without an understanding of money. These are the signatures.
Just a remix going on there. We now invite our judge, our commissioner, to come on up as she's received the declaration and to respond to the wero from our rangatahi taitamariki.
Tēnā rā tātou katoa, te mea tuatahi, ngā mihi mahana, ngā mihi aupa, i ngā tai tamariki, kua hui mai nei, kua hanga rau tēnei declaration. Tēnā he mihi aupa kia kouta katoa. To our tai tamariki, who have presented me with this declaration. The power, the aroha, the story behind what has driven you to provide this today. I watched each and every one of you, and can I just say, you know, he poho kiriri o haui akanta. He tēnō poho kiriri o haui akanta. You should be proud of who you are. You should be proud of what you do. You should be proud of the message that you are asking me to take to the Prime Minister and Aroa, and to her ministers. I know they will be moved by what you have delivered today. And as an old lady who's been around the planet quite a few times, every time I'm in the company of Tai Tamariki, I feel hugely honoured. I feel great privilege to look at you, to hear from you, to really see just how amazing each and every one of you are. And the trouble is, when you're young, you don't know that. So I think it's really important on us as adults to keep on telling you that message, because you see things so clearly. Your messages ring so true. And, you know, I just sat there thinking, why can't we learn? Why do we keep making the same mistakes? I think in Aotearoa we have come quite a long way. It's really good to hear that you know, when I was your age, you weren't allowed to mention that word colonisation. You know, it was, what are you talking about? But now, within Aotearoa, we're starting to talk about it in all circles. And, you know, thank you for your kōrero from our tangata tiriti, because it is that partnership that you talked about yourselves this morning, that partnership that created this land, that partnership, working together, unity. Someone else talked about that. Unity is what's going to bring us up and out of this and make us a really strong, united nation. And we need to make sure that everybody has, kia kuru pauna mo te rongo, has the ability what we want for you. And that's what, people in government, they do care. It's systems and it's how it's carried out. So that's why it's important to have forums like today, to hear from our people who are living everyday lives, to hear your stories, to hear where you've come from, to hear about you and your whānau, and the intergenerational impact of colonisation. All of the impacts of that are coming to roost now quite seriously, and we have to look at them. It is about relationships. It is about people. It is about communities, like Mata Huruhuru doing their job in the community for the people they know best. Wherever the community is, whether it's South Auckland, whether it's Taranaki, whether it's Kaitaia, each community knows how to look after its own people, and that's what I am advocating for, and that's a message I heard today. But getting back to, so thank you everybody. I just do want to acknowledge Robin Scott from J.R. Mackenzie and Mavis Duncanson from the University of Waikato for all of the hard work. And also our whaiapari here. Oh yes, thank you. And I'm going to take this back to Wellington. And I will sign it. I'll sign it right now in front of you all, actually. And I will have a meeting, and I will feed back to you. I will come back to you the outcome of that meeting. Okay, point there? Yeah. Anything else?
I witnessed it.
Yep.
E oho rangatai. Maranga mai, hapai ngā tō iwi e. Kia kaha kia mau, kia manawa nui. Ake kia kaha e. Aue, 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 te aro oha. Aue te mamai, e tohu rangatai, maranga mai, ake kia ka e, ake kia ka e.
Kia ora tātou katoa. If we could all please stand and give another round of applause for our taitamariki and also our commissioner. So now we are going to hand it over to our taitamariki. They had set up a waiata. A couple of the singers aren't here. However, we do have Noel who will be